Word one, it's time to give yourself the permission to be great. I know you've been dreaming about achieving something great in this world. I know you have a vision, but you never gave yourself the permission to be great because you're worried about what people think. You're worried about failing. But if you give yourself the permission to be great, then you can put yourself on the path to living your dream. What's up, it's Gene, this word to be great. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons that you should give yourself the permission to be great. Now, the first reason is that you've already won the lottery. Now, you're probably thinking what I mean by that, so let me explain. You see, when I was working at an exercise clinic, I used to rehab cancer patients. And I had this one cancer patient named Tammy. And Tammy came in there one day, she said, Gene, you know, my whole life I've been wanting to do this, I want to do that. I have dreams of doing all these things, but I never did it. But when I got cancer, I realized something. She said, you know, Gene, I've always played the lottery. And I would go down and buy a lottery ticket, hoping that I would scratch and win millions. And I told myself, if I win the lottery, I will go after my dreams. If I win the lottery, I will go after things I always want to do. But when I got cancer, I was sitting back one night realizing that out of all these days I played the lottery, I did not realize I won the lottery of life. You see, Gene, God chose me to be on this earth. I was chosen to have this life. Word 1. Are you tired of feeling stuck, lost, and unfulfilled? And you ready to start taking responsibility for achieving your greatness so you can take control of your life? Click the link below and get my premium ebook, Worthy to be Great, that is filled with the practical principles that allow me to transform from a 9-to-5 cubicle slave to a disciplined man, consistently building my dream, and I promise you they can help you do the same. With the premium ebook, you will get 2 bonus programs. My 22 video program, How to Build Self-Discipline to Achieve Your Greatness, as well as my 30 Days of Self-Discipline program. Both are filled with self-assessment worksheets and activities that will help you hold yourself accountable as you build the life you want. If you're serious about taking control of your life, get the Word to Be Great premium ebook. If you act today, I'm also going to throw in the audio book, and you will get all this value. See, a lot of us, we don't realize we have won the lottery of life, and we sit back waiting for somebody or some circumstance to give us the permission to be great. See, no matter what you try to accomplish in this world, you have to make up your mind that you're going to give yourself the permission to work for your dreams. You're going to give yourself the permission to go after your goals instead of waiting for somebody else or a circumstance to do so. So I want to encourage you to make up your mind today that you're going to give yourself the permission to be great because you know you've already won the lottery of life. 2, you'll be able to break the chains of others' agenda. When I was in college, I was an RA, right? And that's a resident assistant that's in charge of one of the floors. And one of my residents was this 18-year-old college freshman. One day he came up to me and said, Gene, I'm depressed. I said, what you depressed about? If you like this video, I want to ask you like and share this video. Also, hit that bell so anytime I post a new video, you're notified. My dad is a very successful doctor. And the reason he got me at this university is because he wanted me to go off to medical school. But he said, I want to be real with you, Gene. I don't want to be a doctor. But if I don't become a doctor, my daddy won't pay for me to go to college. So then I asked him, what is it you want to do? He said, I'll be honest with you. I want to have a rock band. I want to be a rock star. I said, well, why don't you do that? He said, well, I want to, but I don't have the money to do so. I said, look, man, if you really want to be a rock star, if you really want a rock band, you will find a way to make it happen. But you will never break the chains of your daddy's agenda if you don't give yourself the permission to be great and go after the dream you desire. Now, I have to be with y'all. Right after that, that young man decided to leave college. He did start a band. And see, a lot of us, we are like this 18-year-old freshman. We have a dream we want to accomplish, but our parents' agenda has us changed, or our teacher's agenda, or somebody else. And because we're chained to somebody else's agenda, we're not doing things that we want to do in life, and it's causing us frustration. It's causing us to be depressed. But if you want your dreams to become reality, you have to give yourself the permission to be great so you can break the chains of others' agenda. 3, When you give yourself the permission to be great, you will stop worrying about what other people think. When I was substitute teaching at this 6th grade class, one of the little 6th graders came up to me. She was a little bitty dark-skinned girl. I mean, very pretty. She came up to me with a nice smile and very respectful. She said, "Mr. Mosley, I want you to look at my shoes." And when I looked at her shoes, she had these shoes with all these designs on them, and they looked really cool. I said, "Hey, where'd you get them shoes at?" She said, "Well, my mama bought me some white shoes, and I drew all these designs on these shoes. One day, I'm going to have my own shoe designing company. I'm going to make millions of dollars. I'm going to get my mama a house. I'm going to be known all over the world." Now, I was very impressed with this 6th grader to have such a vision. But then one of her classmates said, "That's not going to ever happen. Those shoes are ugly." But despite what her classmates said, she kept talking about her shoe design. She kept talking about her dream. She was not worried about what people thought because she gave herself the permission to be great. And you can do the same thing. No matter what your dream is, you can give yourself the permission to be great. And when you do, you are not worried about what people think. The only thing you'll think about is your vision. The only thing you'll think about is your goal and your dream. And just like that 6th grader, you'll be filled with enthusiasm. And when you have haters that's talking down your dream, you're not going to worry about what they think because you have given yourself the permission to be great. Number 4, you will develop real confidence. When I first had a dream of becoming a motivational speaker and an author, I told my mama. Now, my mama loves me to death. She wants the best for me. And I was at a corporate job, and I just got my master's degree. And I was having a conversation with her. She was like, "You know, Julian, you should leave that job. You need to stay there. You have great benefits. You're getting paid well. You worked so hard in college just to get that job." But I knew in my heart that job was not something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I knew inside of me, I had a burning desire to be a speaker. I had a burning desire to be an author. I had a burning desire to make videos like I am right now. But my mama didn't see my vision. So I had to make a decision. Am I going to listen to my mama, or am I going to give myself the permission to be great? Am I going to go after my dream? So that's what I decided to do. I left my corporate job. I went after my dream to be a speaker, to become an author, to run my own business. And about 3 years later, I got an opportunity to speak at my former high school. I invited my mom and my sisters, and when they came to see me speak, I got on the stage, I did my thing. And when it was over, my mama came up to me with tears in her eyes. She said, "I cannot believe you can speak like that. I did not know you could do that." And I looked at my mom and I said, if I had listened to you, that never would have happened. So she said, "You know what? I'm glad you followed your heart and went after your dream." You see, I gave myself the permission to be great, even though my mama wanted me to stay where I was at. And a lot of you guys, you have a dream you want to accomplish, but you're not giving yourself the permission to be great. Instead, what you're doing, you're sitting back hoping somebody's going to give you approval. And the more you do that, you will never develop confidence. The only way you develop real confidence, you have to step out for your dream. You have to step out for your goal. You have to tell yourself, you give yourself the permission to be great. And when you do and you take action, then you will develop real confidence. Number 5, you will start to know your value. When I first started speaking and I was going out doing all these speaking events and I became an author, when I got up to having about 1,000 videos on social media, I started charging for my speaking services. So one time I went to this event and I was talking in front of a bunch of people, telling them about my speaking services, my keynote speeches, my workshops, and I was very clear that I charged for my services. So when it was over, this lady came up to me. She said, "Listen, I love your story. I love your book. I would like for you to come speak at this event, but I cannot pay you." And I say, "Ma'am, I don't speak at events for free." She said, "Listen, it would be great for the teens if you came spoke for free." I say, "Ma'am, I have over 1,000 videos online they can watch for free. I have books out there you can purchase. But if you want me to actually physically come to this event, I will have to be paid to be there." So she kept on going. She kept asking over and over again. So then I asked her this question. I say, "Ma'am, let me ask you this. If you took a bus load of teenagers to a McDonald's and they walked inside that McDonald's, Would you tell them to go in there and tell McDonald's to give them free hamburgers, or would you tell them to pay for it? She said, I would tell them to pay for it. I said, it's the same way with me. Now, what you're telling me is this, that you feel that a hamburger is more valuable than the gift that I have, more valuable than the message that I have, more valuable than the keynote that I could bring to inspire those teens that you're talking about. And after I said that to her, she walked off because she realized I knew my value. She knew that I was not going to give in. And see, when you give yourself the permission to be great, you will know your value. You will stand your ground. You will not let people take advantage of you. You will not do things that's going to compromise what you believe in. So I want to encourage you to give yourself the permission to be great. Whatever vision you have that you want to accomplish in this world, you have everything inside you to make it happen. But the moment it's going to start to realize in your life is the moment that you make up your mind that you're going to give yourself the permission to be great, because you are worthy to be great. I want to ask you to join my Worthy to Be Great newsletter. This newsletter is designed to help you build your self-worth, your self-discipline, your self-confidence so you can achieve your dreams. So click the link below and join my newsletter today.